Scientists just turned darkling beetles into remote-controlled cyborgs. At the University of Queensland, researchers equipped beetles with 1.2-gram microchip backpacks containing a circuit board, electrodes, and RF transceivers for remote communication. One working electrode was implanted into the anterior edge of each elytron, the wing casing of the beetle. Electrical stimulation of the individual elytron drove the beetle contralaterally, or away from the stimulated side, while stimulating both elytra simultaneously drove it straight forward. Essentially, they gave it tank controls. Past research has shown the ability to induce movement and even to climb slopes and some low-profile obstacles.
There are no laws protecting the rights of human consciousness and to our own thoughts, opinions, etc. in law currently, and that's very scary with all this tech that's coming out, specifically with brain chips. It's something that needs to be addressed, you guys, because if it isn't, then we're absolutely going to get fucked.
Oh yes, puppy.
You guys need to pay attention to all this new tech coming out in the next 2 to 10 years, you guys. Things like the Neuralink, wrist chips / barcodes, 6G Wi-Fi and cell phone signals, telepathy tech, etc. Tech which directly interfaces / interacts with your brain and energy field. Now, a lot of this will be masked, much like things were with lockdowns back in 2020 / 2021, as convenient or to help us. They've said that with many things over the last couple of decades, and what's happened? They didn't actually solve the problems that they were meant to, or it just took away more of our personal freedoms. Much like with all the protection against terrorism we were supposed to get, or security against criminals / terrorists, the government aided or trained themselves. What's coming next here soon with this tech is heavily linked in similarity with Project MK Ultra, plus the deprivation of our free will. Generally, Project MK Ultra was ran on US citizens without their consent or knowledge, except this time it'll be through the integration of technology produced by big shady businesses into the body, mind, or indirectly through electricity or other various means. We'll let MK Ultra whistleblower James Martinez explain more about this after we get to know him a little bit better.
The other day we talked about an extinction level event. I want to get into that here, but I think it's important for our audience to, before we get there, to maybe paint a picture of how you got involved with MK Ultra, why you decided to blow the whistle, maybe a little backstory so people understand this and what we're facing right now. Would you mind kind of sharing that with our audience?
Well, yeah, just to begin with, I wasn't a victim of it. I exposed it. And that occurred, a certain aspect of it. And then MK Ultra, I exposed a certain part of it. And I'll get into how these events took place and where I've got to today with it. In the early 90s, in late 80s, the United States was just getting used to the possibility that there are extraterrestrials or aliens, that we're not alone. And during that time, the abduction phenomena had just started. And this was a very secret thing going on behind the scenes for quite some time until it finally broke through into US media environments. So during that time in history, I had already, through my own investigations and meeting people and phone calls, was starting to interface with people that had these type of experiences, but we didn't know. We didn't know the whole story about what was going on, because I've been kind of a part of the disclosure movement in a certain fashion related to MK Ultra, because I was the gentleman that came to Walter Boert, who wrote the book Operation Mind Control, the first one in 1978. This was the exposure of the Churchwater hearings in relation to the using of human subjects, Americans, for neuroscience in forms of torture, LSD, child abduction, and so forth. as an R&D project that was already in motion that came into the United States after World War II.
Maybe our audience might not be familiar, but the CIA was like using hospitals and on unwitting patients who were just in the hospitals. They had no idea. Some of them just given LSD by the CIA, basically. If memory serves, one of them jumped out of a window at a hospital. Because he was given LSD by the CIA, he had no idea, right? So a lot of these, they were like civilian buildings that were being used for MK Ultra, right?
Yes. Yeah, that was part of it, was the drug part, research into drugs and psychedelics. And that was fully embedded in the culture in the 60s. My business partner and fellow whistleblower was named Walter Poet. He started the underground press syndicate out of New York called the East Village Other. And he really became famous and infamous after he wrote that book in 1978, Operation Mind Control. I came in many, many years later when we posted and published Operation Mind Control Volume 2, the Special Researchers Edition, where I brought testimony into him about what essentially the behavioral science was used for and how they were faking alien abductions and using hypnosis, screen and scramble memory technology, drugs, and advanced technology on the public. So that was new news at that time and very secret, very, very, very secret in the early 90s.
They show this heavily in TV shows such as The X-Files, bros, particularly in a few episodes. They were exposing this stuff by hiding it in plain sight. They talk about things such as the alien abductions, the hypnotherapy that was used to essentially program people's brains that were more susceptible to it to do what they want, or, to erase their memories of fabricated man-made abductions and a bunch of other stuff. You catch on to these things after a little while of listening/researching the whistleblowers and ex-military members coming out about abductions or just secret government operations in general. It just takes a little bit of time.
This was in the MK Ultra program going from the 1950s to the 1970s, but of course we've done interviews on this show where it got, people think it ended in the 70s, but it became even more robust.
We're in it. We're in it right now.
We've been saying this for quite a while now, you guys, that we live in a byproduct of Project MK Ultra, whether it's because of specifically what James Martinez is addressing, or just in the sheer acknowledgement of how much subliminal messaging is implanted in our subconscious minds through the TV ads and everything else that we have. Like, think about McDonald's commercials and how many times a day they play it. For instance, Popeyes. I've been seeing that shit more and more, and it keeps getting stuck in my head more and more each time I see it. No wonder why you guys crave such poisonous fucking genetically modified food, which literally is giving you cancer and poisoning you. It's because it's fucking shoved down your throat freaking anywhere between 5 to 100 plus times a day. So here's what's coming and why you should be paying attention to all this.
Recently, I was asked to be the chief advisor on a committee related to the brain-computer interface and its relation to the international standards for technology. That basically is they're a group of countries all over the world, and they all have committees that represent their country. Those committees determine what the standards are going to be for technology when it's commercialized and goes all over the world. Like, for instance, the phone or a toaster or whatever, it's got to meet certain safety standards and all this type of stuff. These committees are determining public policy about what's going to happen when you interface the brain, the computer, AI, and quantum. That's going to end everything, period. It's the end. It's the initiation of the decapitation of our relationship to God. Will become cybernetic. Will become, instead of carbon, will be silicon-based life forms, cybernetics, and they're going to do this via voluntary compliance. Most people will walk right into it. So the brain-computer interface, it's tied in to everything. All our warfare systems, all our banking systems, all our health systems, all in the ways we do commerce and move about in culture. This is the extinction level event because you no longer are an organic free will human being. You're now fused, tied into the cloud, where the fusion of the brain, computer, AI, and quantum will be put into one. Now, that's why I came here, is to tell everybody that these discussions are going on behind the scenes without any dialogue with your so-called elected employees anywhere. Upgrade or alter our species while killing it off. And it's been decided by multiple groups of people. It's not just one single that person. When people hear about the World Economic Forum, that's the public arm of the people that have been asked to be in those positions, of people that have decided they want to reduce global population and they want to completely alter what it means to be human. So you have people, spokespeople like Noah Harari, coming out and making statements about hackable animals, which are humans. And you're seeing the ongoing preparation for the separation or division of your divine incarnation, your right to be associated with godhood. That's being removed. So they're going to create a synthetic, different silicon-based type of human that is fused with technology. Either they'll be chipped or they can use other tools to use behavior modification and what that's going to do. This is the breaking point underway. So when you see interviews with the head of Palantir talking about the biggest, most gigantic surveillance system being put in place, he's not talking about the ecological effects of what that's going to do. This is why a lot of people are saying, this guy's the Antichrist, and they mean it, because he's aiding and abetting the end of your free will, the end of your own cognitive liberty to make decisions based upon your own thoughts, your own ideas, your own history, everything. That's what they're doing.
Why, right, for the average person watching this right now, the mom or husband, who's has a family, trying to put food on the table, they're not part of these secret government programs. They have just a normal life. They got the COVID shot when they were told to, because that's what the government told them to do, all of that. They've got cell phones. Like, what does this mean for the average person watching right now?
It means the end, the you that you think is you, isn't going to be you.
First thing I want you guys to pay attention to is the brain-computer chip interface. This essentially will make it to where the brain and this chip seamlessly become one. This is a part of the transhumanism movement to put our consciousness into a robot body or a mechanical / silicone-based body, which would make it a lot easier for you to be controlled, hacked, do things against your will you wouldn't normally do, etc. They can make your electrical based body / nervous system shut down whenever they want. Imagine you said something the system didn't like, or called Bill Gates out for something in the next 10 years, more and more of it, technocratic society. Be like, oops, oh damn, bro, you're having a seizure, or your liver just shut down. That really sucks, man. Or hackers can take control of you / your body plus anything in between. They can shut off your brain and you wouldn't know what you did when you woke up. We're really getting into cyberpunk edge runner territory now here. Now, the second thing that I want you guys to pay attention to that's coming is directed energy weapon attacks happening more frequently. This is essentially the same thing, just a little different. They could use this to make you sick, your organs fail, or induce cognitive / mental health issues, even if you don't have a brain chip or one in your body. And they could do that if you happen to get vaccines which have nanoparticulates or nanobots in them to, help monitor your health. You can already do that yourself, by the way, Third thing is going to be 6G internet/cell phone signals. These will hijack your nervous system even more than what we already have currently. Ultimately, it'll end up in the loss of your free will/expression, being the perfect little drone that the corrupt fuckers in power and these transhumanist scumbags want. Obviously, not all people that support transhumanism are bad, by the way, just so you guys are aware, but like those leading the movement. Now, if you guys go watch the full interview with James Martinez there over on Redacted's CensorTube or Rumble channels and listen, essentially once we get to 6G signal and it gets mass adoption, it's spelling out the end basically of shit for a lot of people. Like, that's when the telepathy tech's gonna come in. Your thoughts won't be yours. You won't be able to, you know, keep that privacy between your inner world and the outer world, etc. And like, you won't have a sense of privacy at all at that point. Now, there's probably quite a few of you guys out there that are going to be asking, well, what can I do to prevent these and protect me plus my family's cognitive function, free will, and bodily autonomy? All right, so the first thing you guys can do, and this is very important, you need to do this as soon as possible, it's write declarations of your free will and the rights to your consciousness, thoughts, movements, opinions, etc. on paper, or type them out and print them up, whatever you got to do, and then go file them with your county recorder. This will protect y'all in the court of law. This all begins and ends here, you guys. They can't do any of these things or alter your state of being / consciousness if you have this without, you know, ending up being sued and prosecuted. You guys can start off with something preliminary like I have already, like this. Feel free to take a screenshot of it so you can use it as a base, so that way you just have something to start off with and kind of get a vague understanding of what you need to put out there, and then get more and more detailed over time and as more and more about this stuff comes out. The second thing you guys can do would be to spread the word about this and what actions can be taken to help prevent it. The more people that know about this and that this info gets out there, the better. And then the third thing would be to tell local officials / judicial officials about this. Link them to videos such as this and the full Redacted news interview with James Martinez about this, that or his books. And then also, you know, you can sit there and tell them that there are no laws protecting the rights of human consciousness and like to our own thoughts, opinions, etc. in law currently, and that's very scary with all this tech that's coming out, specifically with brain chips. Like, it's something that needs to be addressed, you guys, because if it isn't, then we're absolutely going to get fucked.
Oh, yes, puppy.
Unless we do stuff like this and, you know, spread the legal aspect of what we can do about it out there and get laws in place to protect us around technology like this, we will be absolutely screwed. This is how we evolve and get to the next level on a safe scale as a human civilization and as a sentient, conscious civilization too. And I'll leave a link for that full Redacted news interview with James Martinez on YouTube in the description down below, so that way, you know, you guys can have a link to that and easily share it about, etc. I can't do the Rumble one, unfortunately, because YouTube will penalize people for sharing things to external sites because it takes away their viewership. That's gonna be it for us today, though, my dudes. If you guys did enjoy, as usual, please don't forget to hit that like button, destroy the shit out of the subscribe button. It's completely free over on CensorTube here, or, you know, just hit the follow button if you guys are on Rumble, and then share it out to as many people as possible, because as we said before, the more this gets out to people, the better it is, and, you know, the the more people understand that they're not crazy for questioning these shitty, corrupt systems we live in. Also, if you guys did make it to this point in the video, go and leave the phrase, "I am free to be me," in the comment section down below to let me know that you made it to the end and you guys are part of the 1,000,000% track. Also, if you guys would like a more interactive experience with us, come join us live every Wednesday and Friday from 8:30 to 10:30 p.m. US Central Time, where we tell you guys all about the conspiracy facts and also play a variety of games afterwards, such as Pokemon Unite, Fortnite, etc. Whatever really floats the mood, you feel me? Either way though, my dudes, I appreciate you guys very much for being here. Thank you, much love, and until next time, please don't forget to live long and prosper, take care in peace, keep it 1,000,000% real, and as always, fuck the system. I'll see you guys on the flip side. Z-Trip.
People of this country and we're under attack. They banning us, they cancel us for speaking the facts. If you man enough, come stand with us, take USA back. And every time we pull up, all you're gonna see is America.